So I think it's time to strip the car, maybe try to get it primered. So I'm going to remove all the chrome trim. I'm going to fill the holes. I'm going to basically de-chrome it. This is going to be, this up here is going to be gone as well. This goes away. This goes away. I can get in and fix some of these things. Got a little bit of paint bubbling there. A few little nicks on the hood. Some nicks. Not a good one there. So I think what I want to do is basically remove everything, push the car out onto the driveway, and give it a good coat of the black epoxy primer. I've already started the priming back here as part of my repair work on the firewall, and I think I'm just going to carry that forward to the rest of the car. So I don't have to leave it black, though flat black would be kind of a good look, but at least it would be a start in terms of getting some of this rust attended to. And if I'm ever going to paint a final coat, I'd want to put a layer of epoxy primer over the whole thing anyway. So time to dig in. So this is a right tool, right job situation. If you have any intention of ever reusing your chrome, you want a pair of these pliers. Just work your way along, get to the plastic. Look at all the dirt behind that. Whew. Done. So obviously one-handed with the camera, that's going to cause a few issues. Now I just got to remove these little plastic clips here, and then figure out whether I want to just fill those with a little bit of body filler if they're pretty small, or if I'm going to want to weld them up. You guys know me in welding, so odds are it'll be body filler. Well, I got on a bit of a roll on the stripping of the car for priming. So not only have I removed the chrome trim, I've removed the windows, front window, windshield wipers. Got a bit of surface rust there, a bit more over there, worth checking out and treating. I think I've just escalated this project a bit. It's obviously now it initially was basically get it running and enjoy it, but I think I'm at the point now of caring a little bit more about it in terms of rust, dents, things like that. So if we walk over here, you look inside, side windows have been removed as well. Everything's out of the doors. Got to remove these door rubbers. See, you know, exposed metal. There's an issue on the roof. I just want it to be right. So I guess I'm just going to have to put a little bit more time, a little bit more money. Again, I've got the primer. I've got the Bondo. I did break the windshield taking it out, but it was old, and I'm going to say, you know, if I had driven it around, it would have looked starred looking into the sun. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Now I just got to get rid of that lovely glued on mess. Remove the mega mirror here. And you know, part of me is thinking of keeping it. I think it just might be a little bit funky and fun. So I'll probably remove that sticker and just buy a new one. That sticker I will cover. I am going to want to prime inside now for the most part. Will I get, you know, so look over here. I'm not going to prime here. I am going to prime up here. You see all these little nicks and stuff. I'm going to sand, fill a little bit, and hopefully you know, all along the trim, jambs, and everything, so that if you, once the panels are back on, once I reinstall all that stuff up there, then I can have it look like, you know, it's designed to be black. You know, it's supposed to be black. So, some more work on the hood there. I need a bigger garage. Alright, back to it. Apologies again for not filming more. I kind of got on a roll. So I've actually literally on a roll rolled it out of the garage. This is the total space that I have. That's the biggest dent that I can find. Now, I did find down in here some minor rust holes. Same over there. So I will be attacking those. Lots of old headliner. Speaking of headliner, it's now gone. I will have to do some scrubbing. Seats out. Doors and windows all out. I will mask up that area. Same over here. I will be removing the fenders. Running boards are gone. All of this will be getting the black primer treatment. You can see why. Looks like I'll probably have to remove the door handles too. Get down in there. Primers tomorrow. Today is scrub clean. A little bit of Bondo where I need it for minor fills. And go from there. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to put the chrome strip back on the nose. I know it's not going on anywhere else. I have seen some guys do some like spiked studs in the holes, and that seems like it might be kind of fun. And I am going to put the VW sign back, but my VW sign is really faded, so I'm thinking I'll do it in the same red as the rims. That's sort of my accent color that I'm going with. So alright, still got to remove those. Well, I've started getting some of the sanding done. A little bit more there maybe to do. See on the door. Found a few rust spots and things that I'm just taking care of. And along the window. Chrome molding. Up on the roof. Those were some pretty big ones. I'm still going to do a little rust treatment on that. There can be some microscopic rust still down in there. Then on this side, same deal. I'll be removing the fenders. They're not getting the full treatment right now. I'm just focused on getting the body done. Have to remove that handle. Got to clean that area up. Alright. Still moving along. Pull the doors just to be able to get access to the door jambs a little bit easier. You can see that I've got some Bondo on now. Not a lot. This black smeary stuff, that's just the Permatex. Did all the treatment up here as well. I now have to grind some of that back. And what I'll do next is smooth out the rough. This makes a pretty rough surface there, but it does treat the rust permanently. That's why it turns black like that. Feel little tiny nicks. I think I'm starting to care a little bit too much about the paint job on this thing. So the new plan: flat black epoxy, urethane flat clear coat. Done. I am going to keep all of the holes, and what I'm going to do is put silver round-headed screws in them. Seals it up, but also we'll just have a nice sort of a steel dimples along the side, or almost like rivets along the side, all along the door, and then back here I do want it to be sealed up, so I'll just put a little bit of black silicone underneath, and I think that'll look pretty cool. So that way if I ever want to put the chrome strips back on, I can do that if I so choose. Alright, time to go after all of that glue. Look at that mess. Oh, quick tip. When you remove the hinges, you've probably heard this before, drill an 1/8 inch hole. Then when I have to go to line them back up, I put the drill bit right in there. It's also through the hinge itself, and that'll allow me to secure it. And then also don't forget there is a third screw for the hinge. Behind there's a plastic insert. So anyway, moving on. Alright, so I've welded up the rust holes here. Obviously again, booger welds, flux core wire. So now I'm just going to grind back the excess and see how I did. Not bad. Overall, I think that'll work. Just have to seal it up, but it is plenty smooth now, so I don't think that the window rubbers are going to be an issue. So, on to the other side. Doing the same thing here as I did on the other side. Booger welds to patch up some holes, and now I'm just going to grind them back. I have found, you know, keep your old grinding discs. When the radius is smaller, then you can get in a little better. See how that almost matches perfectly, whereas a full-size one I wouldn't be able to get in there. Alright, that'll work. So the section back here is a little bit worse. The pitting along this part of the window frame was pretty bad. I just don't have it in me to swap it all out. So I did patch up the holes, and I'm hoping that's going to get the job done. Again, if there's some holes here and it leaks down in there, it just goes down to the engine bay, not inside the car. I've got that sealed up with that welding that I did. So I think this is going to be okay. So right in here, a little bit over on the other side. There. Okay. Next step is just some basic cleanup of the welds with a either the wire brush attachment or flap disc. I'll see what I feel like doing. Okay, so I've wire brushed the area where each of these had some damage. If there was more actual sort of visible exposure, I would be addressing this a little bit more fully and neatly, but remember that basically nearly all of this is going to be covered by the rubber gasket that holds the window in. So last one there. Again, good enough. I'd rather keep a little too much metal and have that metal be lumpy than grind back so much that the holes come back. So at least this will keep it nice and tight. So I've added some Bondo to the pitted metal. Again, not to seal it, but just to smooth out that edge there. It did have some pits. The metal was largely solid. Here you can see what the pitted stuff looks like. That's not too bad, and there'll be a rubber gasket over it, so I'm not worried. But the stuff on the outside, I didn't want that to show up. So a little bit there, a little bit there, up the side, and a little bit more around the front. So now what I've got to do is sand it back. So I'm going to get at it. So I got in here with the wire brush on the grinder and got a lot of that glue off. You can still see some of it in the corner there. I'll have to come back and scrub. Not everything can get off with the can't get that grinder in the corner for everything. Door jamb. Along the sill, up the door jamb. You can see on the opposite side there. Just prepping for the paint to come. This is where the dirt is, but that's just, it needs probably just some either brake cleaner or acetone. Wipe it down, call it good. But between that and the exterior sanding, which I've done, see a little bit of it there, I'm almost ready for primer. That might be what you guys see next. So here's hoping. Shells in primer. Not perfect by any means, but not too shabby. And again, flat black primer. And the thing is going to end up flat black. Some spots down low there. Those are covered by carpet and whatnot. I might go back. I mean, I can always hit them with the top coat. Not perfect. You can see, you know, a dent there still, but I like the look. It was never going to be a show car, but I have to say I'm pretty pleased. There are some runs. I won't point them out to you. Sorry. In a few spots where it looks like the underlying paint chip is still a little bit visible, so I just have to go back and do some sanding. But again, since this isn't the top coat, I will be able to go back and take care of that. Pretty excited to get to this stage, because once you get to this stage, it's sort of, now you can start putting it back together. Well, almost. Got to get that top coat on, and the clear, and buy all the rubbers, and buy a new windshield. But go back together it shall. Gotta say, not bad for English, Professor.